if this challenge counts. I don't know when it counts the end of the 24-hour period to get the problem done. So I'm going to try and hurry up here because I would hate to not have this count as being done today in my little record. It's not that it matters, it's just internet points, but it would suck to miss out at day 23 of 30, right? So problem we got here today is given a range, m and n, where 0 is less than m, or less than or equal to m, so less than or equal to some really big number. We need to return the bitwise and of all numbers in this range inclusive. So 5, 6, and 7 ANDed together is apparently 4. And the only way I know how to do bitwise operations is to actually just kind of do it. So 5 in binary is that. 6 will be this. And wait, what's 7? That's 7. All right. So if you add all these together, then we should get 1 and 0 is 0. And with 1 is 0. And 0 ANDed with 1. And as soon as you see a 0, any column is 0. Is that right? Did I do this right? 1 ANDed with 1 ANDed with 1 is 1. And then all zeros. So our answer is 4. So we got the right answer. So that is it. So one naive way to do this would be just to loop through all the numbers between m and n and literally use the bitwise AND operator. I have a feeling that's going to be too slow though. So I think that we're going to be able to figure something else faster here, but I think I might try to just brute force this and see if it'll take it, because I'm worried about getting this done before midnight because I had a busy day. So let's see how it goes. For let I equals m, I less than or equal to n, I plus plus. All right. We'll let our result equal hey, what's up, Abdul? I have a feeling brute force is not going to work out, but I'm a little bit worried about not finishing this before midnight and losing out on the challenge. It might be Pacific time, so I might have another 3 hours, but just in case. And I was kind of tempted to basically just start, actually, so we'll say like m plus 1. Just start with m and just try to brute force it just to see how it goes. So basically result would equal result and n, or sorry, and I. Return result. So I'm sure this is going to be too slow, but I'm going to try it anyway. Got the right answer. We don't have negative numbers to worry about. Set it in the description. So let's see if this is fast enough. Hey, time limit exceeded. No big surprise there. Looks like they had us do everything. So when I actually did the binary by hand, one thing you'll notice very quickly is that AND only works in the case where you have a column with all ones. And you can see there's a very obvious pattern going on here. So it's really easy to see in the rightmost column. It's just basically always 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. Hey, what's up, BrazTubes? Yeah, okay, so yeah, mathematical relation format. I think I'm kind of getting towards that. I think that basically for every column we'll be able to figure out basically just whether it's going to be all ones or not with just the mathematical formula. I think that'll be pretty easy, because if there's ever any, wait a minute, I can't be right. If there's ever any zeros, then it would exclude the whole thing. So I must be doing something. No, that's okay. Yeah, that is per column. So, okay, so that's interesting. So, I mean, just right here, you know, if this thing goes more than 2 spans, it's going to be a 0, right? Because it toggles 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. So if n minus m is greater than 2, then that first bit equals 0. So that will always be, we'll have some numbers in front of that. And then we can do the same thing here. So basically if it's 0, 1, 1, I'm just going to type out a little more binary here, because it looks like there's a pattern. Yeah, definitely thinking along those lines. So we got 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. Next one is 1, 1, 0. Okay, so yeah, it's basically cycling every 2. So I do have to be careful about where we start. You can see this one starts on the second 0, because we started at an odd number in that case. So 0th bit cycles every 1. It alternates every 1. This one cycles every 2. So 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1. The next one, we didn't go enough, but it seems like it got quite a bit bigger. So I'm just going to start typing from 0 and try to figure out what that relationship is there, and I think that will be enough to tell us. But this is the same as saying 2 to the 0. This is saying 2 to the 1. So I'm kind of expecting 4 here, but we'll see. All right, there we go. Okay, yeah, it's every 4. So yeah, it's just 2 to the 4th. Or sorry, 2 to the 2 to the 2nd. And so if you tell me any column, then I can, obviously the pattern is, you know, if it's the 4th column, then I know it's just 2 to the 4th. And oh my gosh, I can't type today. 2 to the 4th, and so on. So I think that's enough information there. So we do have a couple things to do to figure out basically whether or not there's any columns. But I mean, we can just tell right off the bat, like most of these columns are going to end up 0. So chances are very likely if we go, if we have any span at all, for sure going to be an even number, because any 0 makes the whole column a 0. So this is going to be a pretty easy problem here. I do have to figure out, it's a little bit tricky, I think, to figure out the 1 and the 0 that we start with. So I'm going to have to think a little bit about that. Yeah, so that's interesting. But we only need to worry about that in the case that it actually, the range is greater than the cycle. So yeah, let's just start coding and regret it later. That's how I like to do. So I wonder if I could just do like a const distance equals n minus m. And then I can build up a binary array, which seems like an awful lot of work. There's probably a better way to do this, but let's just start with that. And what will we do with that? For let I equals 0 for 2 to the 0. I is less than, the max digit will be, heck yeah, let's see, what do we want to call this, max, I don't like digit, but maybe max power. It's going to be, well, what's up, Will? Good to see you here. Very nice. I tried brute force, but it was too slow for me. Oh man, yeah, I tried doing JavaScript, it said on the brute force. But when we get the log base 2 of, ooh, that's interesting though. Do I want to get the log base 2 of my biggest number or the difference? Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to come back to that. I think it's just gonna be my biggest number here because I care about that, I think. All right, so that'll be what I go through there. So I plus plus. Did you stream this one? Yeah, man. Golang is awesome, man. JavaScript 0. Yep, I knew it, man. There's some latency on the stream here, but I knew where you're going. It's awesome. So what do we got here? We're gonna build this array from right to left, which is a little bit weird. But I might just build it left to right and then reverse it at the end. And then we could optimize that out of there later. So it'll basically be like a return result dot reverse, which is pretty gnarly, but it makes it, oh nice, man. Sorry I missed the stream. Abdul in here is doing a little bit of streaming too, but I haven't seen it yet. I would like to watch it though. All right. And hopefully that little bit of streaming turns into a lot of streaming. Yeah, it's addicting. All right, so it's going to be result at I equals, and then this is the hard part. I haven't figured out this formula, so I'm going against my own advice of figuring out how to solve it truly by hand. So if I look at this number, if it goes over the period, then that's cool, man. I understand the language of code, so I'm fine with watching some Arabic. Maybe I'll learn something. So I'm looking at basically this position. So the rightmost position, and oh yeah, you know, we don't need to reverse this, man. That's just me being lazy, because we already figured out the max power here. So it'll be max power minus 0. Or minus I. And it's going to be, just to make my life easier, I'm going to figure out the period like this. It'll be 2 up to the power of I. So in that first case, it'll be 2 up to the 0, which is 1. So it's got a period of 1, so what do I need to check then? So if it's greater than 2, we'll be able to optimize this too. If the, I'm going to call this difference too. Sorry I'm going so fast tonight too. I'm worried about not doing it before midnight. Twins. So if difference is greater than the period, then it's just 0. Should I figure it out this way? Yeah, I forget. If you put your Twitch channel here, I'll bring it up on the screen and put it in the description. I forget what it is. It's playing. It's so loud. Oh, I don't see it. Alright, I'll just wait for that. Stupid latency. Alright, so period equals that. And if the difference is greater than the period, then this will equal 0. Else we got some math to do. Alright. And we can figure that out. So we can make this into a ternary, which, you know, I love my ternaries. And 0. It might get a little long. I might regret this, but we'll see. And then what do we got to do? That is going to pop us in there, and I think that's it. Honestly, we just got to convert this to convert this to decimal, which I don't really want to do that. This is kind of a silly way of putting together binary, really. I don't have to just set some index. I could just, geez, I'm gonna regret this. We're just gonna treat this as one big number, and we will let it, and we will do the binary operation of. I am not up on my bit twiddling. Ooh. Mr. Britford did short circuit anytime the interim result hit 0. Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Yep. Yeah, as soon as you see 1, 0, you can quit. Yeah, so that's a good way of thinking about it. So if I understood you correctly, Will, you basically almost like talking about kind of like starting at the top right. Oh, it's 0. Okay, then let's go to the next column. Oh, it's 0. Let's go to the next column. Oh, it's 0. So if you ever start from 0, you never have to finish. So this is kind of like the problem we did the other day. So if you imagine you're going from here down to there, then you would start here. I guess you would have to start over every, no. Yeah, you would have to start at the top every time. But still, it's fine. The way I brute forced it was literally just went through and tried to AND them all together. Yeah, it was awesome. All right, so the result equals, I think I might just bring this back. Sorry, I'm scatterbrained. Got to it too late tonight. All right. So if the difference is greater than the period, then we don't have to do anything because we're building this number up. So if the difference is less than the period, then we've got the math to do. And there's going to be another if in here that I don't know how to do yet. And if it's true, then what we got to do is set result equal to result bitwise or, and then it will be, I think it's going to be the period. So if I did this right, all we got to do is figure out this equation right here. And that's probably going to make my brain hurt, but I think that's the right answer. So I'm going to take a look at a bigger number, like 4. And let's say we're looking at index of 0, 1 in an array. Oh, let's start from the top. So we're going to look first at I is equal to 0, which is going to make our period be 2 to the 0th power, which is 1. Your loop should just have 31 items. Oh yeah, that's a really good point, RazTubes. Yeah, so if I just did that kind of, going through and down, then it's really not too bad. Yeah, crap. So the solution I'm doing is overly complicated, I think, but I'm hoping that this formula that we figure out here isn't going to be so bad, and then this thing will just be, 15-liner. So I'm hoping it won't be too bad, and I think it's going to perform well. But yeah, you can't complain with log of n, so it's like, yeah, I could be doing a lot better. You're right. Shoot. So I'm going to be doing all this work, and I'm going to end up with log of n. So same runtime, except this one hurts my brain. Okay, I still want to give this like 10 more minutes, and then I'll do it that way. All right. So the I is 0, the period is 1. The max power is going to be the log of my number, which I'll say is, let's just say we're going from 4 to 6. Or what was their example? Their example was 5 to 7, so let's just do that. So we're going from 5 to 6 to 7. So the max power equals the log base 2 of n. So I said log base 2 of 7. And I had to check this because I wasn't sure that we actually have a log 2 function. Oh man, they gave me like a very precise number. What if we just do math.log? Alright, so I definitely want log base 2. Now, do I want the floor or the ceiling? I'm not sure yet. We're going to figure that out right now. Okay, so max power equals math.log 2. So we're doing it of 7, which we just saw was like 2 point something. And I'm doing floor, so I'm saying the max power is 2. So I only have to worry about index 0, 1, 2. If I did that correctly. So that's what I'm looping through is 0, 0, 1, and I did not do equal. So if I'm going to do less than, then I need to do ceiling. So our max power is actually 3. Alright, I got our period. That's all good. And the period does change with I, so I'll put that up there. Max power does not change. Alright, so our first number. This is not correct. Or is it? It is correct. I don't even, yeah, that's kind of interesting that I don't even care about the number I'm looking at right now. I'm just literally checking to see if the difference is bigger than the period. And in most cases, I think it will be. So that's kind of cool. So I'll put the difference up here equals 2. Because 7 minus 5 is 2. 2 is not less than our period. So we just move on. Okay. So now we're looking at I equals 1. And now our period is going to be 2 to the first power, so that's 2. Okay. And what does that mean? If our difference, which I said was 2, is less than the period, which is 2, then, so we do have to look here. So this is our case. And what I think we can do for our if here is just maybe check the first and check the last. So what I'm saying here is my period is either equal to or less than the number of items that I'm checking. I really should probably do difference plus 1, but whatever, it doesn't matter. I have to figure this out anyway. So what I think I can do is basically check the 5 and check the 7 to see if that item is a 0. And if either one of those is 0, then that's it. That's good. But yeah, there's likely I'm a little worried about my reasoning skills here. It's a little late for me. I'm a morning person. All right. So how do we check to see if a particular bit in a number exists? Is we could just AND it with that number. So we can just say if n bitwise AND with this digit, which will be 2 to the power of this item. So I think it's the period. So if this equals 1 and I should have done m first. So if that and that are true, if they're both 1, what is this operator? So that looks pretty weird. If they're both 1, then we can OR in this property to our result, and that's it. So I think that's it. I think that's good. So I got the correct answer. That's a miracle. Rather than submit immediately, I'm going to go ahead and try the custom test case for these really big numbers. Fingers crossed. I gave a 0. The expected answer, we didn't get one, so that's kind of weird, but I guess I could just try a big number. Okay, so that works. What else can I try? If I tried M and N. Well, I have to know if it's this specific bit. Right, right. Okay, cool. Let's try a smaller range, like 999 to 1000. Got the right answer, man. I think this is it. No. Yeah, my max range is not right. I'm doing extra work, but I don't think it's much extra work, so I don't hate it. So when they did 1 to 1, I said 0. So what happened there? I mean, it makes sense to me that works. So I did a difference of 0. Okay. So my difference was 0, and that's why I ended up doing this. So it's kind of tempting to just take this condition out and just check this. I mean, this is a pretty minor operation. So this seems like kind of a micro optimization to me. Okay, now I get the wrong answer. Awesome. Oh, you know, one thing I could do here too is I could say, like, if M and N and period is greater than is equal, then diff is less than or equal to. Difference is less than or equal to the period. Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. Oh, and this is not the right answer. That is not, I can't just remove this. Yeah, so this needs to stay like that. Or rather, I need this outer condition, otherwise I'm checking things that have a smaller period. There we go, so we got the right answer there. Nope, I did not. Oh my gosh. Difference is 0, so I came down here and said, difference is less than or equal to the period, and the period was 1. So my difference was less than 1. Then I said if 1 and period is 1 and n and 1, then I should have taken my result and ORed it with the period of 1. So I expect I'm going to run this one more time because I thought I should have got the right answer here. No, I gave the wrong answer. What did I do here? I said from I equals 0, I less than max power. I'm guessing this is also a problem. So let's see what the math log 2 of 1 is, and it's 0. So I looped from 1 to 0. So can I just do that? I think at worst I'll be checking a little bit more than I need to, but that's pretty minor. Got the right answer. Let's try those other tests. You like how I'm testing before I hit submit? I've learned a few things. All right, that looks good. We'll try that 999 and 1000. All right, right answer. So I think we got it. It ended up being a little trickier than I thought to get this kind of part worked out. It actually, I mean, it was simpler, but it was just kind of a little mind bendy. You know, let's make sure we actually get the right answer now. I think this one's going to score pretty well. All right, got the right answer. Woo, 30 minutes. Solution ended up being, you know, kind of, I'll say middle of the pack. So it's definitely, this graph is skewed left. But we can see that, what the heck? This is not the solution I expected to see. They started off with zeros, and then they went through and they, what is this operator? Isn't that shift? So M equals shift. Oh, wow. Oh my gosh, this is really smart. Okay, I thought I was being slick, man. All they do is they just look to see if there are any items that weren't one in M or N, and they just went through it. Okay, man. What was the best one? Wow, const. Geez, I can't make heads. I guess C is count. Would take in M, return. Man, this is like a C++ program we just happened to do in JavaScript. Oh, nice. Doing your own power instead of calling pow. That's cool. I guess they're probably handling some edge cases that you didn't have to worry about for such small numbers. Let's see here. So they went through 32, so each of the digits, they set a T. Who knows what that means? I honestly, I don't know. I need to look up this operator. I think it's shift. Let's see. Oh, Will, we never got your link. Operator. So this is C++, but it's the same thing. So left shift takes two numbers. Left shifts the bits of the first operand. The second operand decides the number of places to shift. In other words, shifting an integer. Hey, what's up, Vic? Wow, is the equivalent of raising it to the power of power 2. Okay. So, okay, cool. So good. All right, Vic, well, we just solved the problem. Yeah, I should use shift. I don't know. For some reason, I just never think about it. And, yeah, I mean, I definitely had to Google it for just to get a refresher. So I'm leaving a tool on the table. Overall, though, I'm happy with the result there. So I'm going to pop back over here, and I still low-key make a gaming video. I thought about there's a bunch of Zachtronics games, but actually the game I play the most is Slay the Spire. So I could definitely make a Slay the Spire video. Just go on Twitch and hang out and play Slay the Spire over and over and over again, because I'm doing it anyway. Usually I do it while I'm in bed, so a little bit different. I'm going to try and find Will's Twitch name here. So I'm guessing he went signed off for the night. Oh, man. Jeez, he sent me the link and I lost it. There we go. Oh, come on. So I know the idea of the video, what it was, but not, crap, not what it is now. Oh, I think I just found it. Yep, here we go, man. Here we go. All right, so I'll put this link in the description, but it's I am Will Madison. So he just started streaming. He's in chat. Abdul, if you give me your link, I'd be happy to share it out with people I know that are interested. I'm going to start. I'm going to let me go to my other account. I'm going to compile a list of people I follow that are programming on Twitch and YouTube. And so if you want to be on that list, let me know your name. And I'm already following. Cool. All good, man. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I got your link out there. So I am Will Madison, and I need to get some Twitch stuff flowing too, so I'll make sure to host you guys and stuff. So yeah, make sure to throw me a link, and I'll throw it out there. So if you're looking for more coding to watch, then check it out. And Will is awesome, man. I used to work with Will back in the day, man, and he's awesome. He's the only other coder that I've ever worked with that could outcode me and out arm wrestle me. So that's saying something. So usually it's either or, but yeah, Will's amazing. So cool. All right, man. Yeah, let me know that link, and you have a good night. Ooh, currently I stream tested on this channel. So I don't see the chat program I use. I don't see like your actual handle. I see like your full name. It's kind of weird. So maybe I could try it. Oh yeah, I can paste it in the chat too. Yeah, Will's awesome, man. I don't think so, man. I was talking about you tonight, Will. Actually, I was talking. Remember this time we went out to Seattle for a work trip, and at the time I was kind of into weightlifting a little bit, and I was, you know, kind of amateur about it. But you were super into working out, so we're like, yeah, we'll meet up in the morning and hit the gym. And man, I was late, of course, so I walked down into the gym at the hotel, and man, you were slinging those dumbbells around. I was like, I was a little scared to be in that room with you because you're just, it was awesome. You were much more serious about your working out than I was. Anyway, so I was telling Alan Outlaw that story. All right. I'm out of here. You guys have a good night. Send me those links.